Enough is enough! I have had it!
Why so serious?
And we hold the world ransom for
Wayne Gandy.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Show me.
Broadcasting live from the AM 1100 Sports Joc Studios, Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome to Atlanta.
This is the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
You may fill me up, yeah. Can you fill me up, yeah? You won't break me down. I've come too far, yeah. I've come too far, yeah. To just throw in the towel. It's a new day, I'm a do it. Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way. You may fill me up.
Welcome. You're listening to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy. We are live. Good morning to you. I told you I'll be back all week long, the Sports Joc Show. SportsJoc.com. If you want to see any videos, that's JOC.com. You can reach us at 1-888-926-7562 or 404-603-8770. We are live out of Atlanta. I'm from Florida. Big Kenny is from Chicago. Chinway is from parts unknown, but we are going to come to you today and give you a great show. You can hit us up on all kinds of Instagrams. I'll let them say that when we come up to it. But we are from Atlanta. Let me make sure I stress that because the people around here keep giving me, and I can't use the word, but it's a 4-letter word. They stay on me all the time. Let me tell you what the Sports Joc Show is. It's a show with a sports figure at the helm. That's what this show is. What if the show was hosted by a sports figure? What kind of conversations those would entail? What kind of conversations happen when I'm at dinner? What kind of conversations happen when I was in the locker room? Do not get lost in the word sports. It was just a catchy title. Sports Joc. I love sports. If you asked me to write down the first thing that I love, it would be sports as something to do. But don't get lost in that. That's why half of you don't understand athletes, because you think that that's all athletes know. I graduated from college in 1993, December, a degree in finance, before I ever signed an NFL check. So I actually know a little more. And nobody did my paper. I actually was a National Honor Student. I'm sorry to dispel that we talk more than women, cars, and sports. It's a sports variety show. That's what it is. And if you don't think sports is in your life, go outside. It exists around you. You will find yourself in some kind of sports traffic. Your child or your sister's child or your brother's child will at some point invite you to some kind of sporting event. Everybody sings. Everybody likes to show up to sporting events. We talk everything. We have a comedian here. We got a young social media hound who loves to bring that stuff to the mic. And there's a lot of things in the Sports Joc head other than sports. But I have been mandated from the man. Now, we never knew who this mythical figure of the man really was, but he's been around for a long time that people referred to him as the man. And they told me I needed to go off and have a rant, or I needed to talk sports. So I gave you a rant. Now let me give you some sports, since y'all are counting how long before I talk sports. So I'm going to give them some sports, and then I'm going to talk a lot of sports. But every time I talk sports, I'm going to explain to you why this connects to something else. Since all of you are remedial out there, must be, because it's hard to follow a person who can connect a lot of things together. I'm sorry. I'm not a social media person, per se, because I don't have no inkling to hear what half of you think about nothing. Why would I trust a device? I want to talk to experts. That's who I want to hear when I talk a certain matter. I don't care about Johnny in a cave in his mama basement in Idaho to tell me about what I should have done with my dollar. So if you're not an expert, why would I want to go on something where it's not regulated to that you have to actually know what you're talking about because you got an opinion? You know that everybody got an opinion. Can't say that word. So many words you can't say. Well, I'm 8 minutes, 7 minutes into the show. So let me talk about sports. If you've been watching OJ, Made in America, let me tell you something I'm going to stand up for OJ right now. Everybody that's black and becomes successful does not want to carry the torch of their people. I've been doing this 5.5 years. I've been trying to get you to understand that. Because somebody is talented and can do something well does not mean that they are going to put your issues on their back and carry it. ESPN and that is doing a great job, but they're framing this up to make it seem like OJ sold out the black man. OJ seemed like he was living his life. That's not my plight. That's Jim Brown's plight. That's Muhammad Ali. He changed his name. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They changed their name. That was their plight. It happens today. Every time something happens. Well, why didn't Michael Jordan take a stand on that? That might not be Michael Jordan's plight. I argued for years in the NFL, why is it that my fine money goes to the owner's charity? I don't know anybody with the disease that the owner is giving my money to. Why can't I give that same $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to a charity that affects me? I say that because I'm saying stop looking at OJ and stop looking at anyone that has success. You don't see every other nationality, somebody does something and the first thing, they're not asking Tom Brady to pick up a banner. So I hope I have covered. Let me introduce my co-host once again because they're going to be like, we are live from Atlanta, Georgia. I moved here. I graduated from Auburn, as I told you, in '93. I was waiting to get drafted. So I came to Atlanta. It was the closest big city from Auburn. But we are live. You can call us at the number I gave you. If you want to ask us something about Atlanta, win your regional. We had to change the music. So for you people that have been enjoying our eclectic, vast knowledge of music, where we listen to any and everything, we will be cutting that back. We are now a show that is centered around the top 20 songs. Now, if that doesn't get you to listen, or if it doesn't hold your attention, please hit us up, and we'll play that song. And I apologize. I really do. I didn't know I needed to have a narrow mind of music. I wasn't born where there was 9 different stations. But now, since you people who complain about racism and can only tune into a certain channel to hear your music, you people that only can go to a club, the best club in the city is right there. But you will drive 10 miles because they play what you call black music. So I hope I have gone through all the bases for the powers outside of my room to tell me what I should say. Once again, we are live from Atlanta. We're at the Sports Joc Studios in Atlanta. It's AM 1100 out of Atlanta. If you go too far, you're going to lose the signal. So don't go too far. But we are from Atlanta. It's the Sports Joc Show. It's a variety show. We talk mainly sports because the host has a degree in sports. Well, Big Kenny, say something. Make it short because everybody has to do their thing in a short way, and then they're going to be like, well, it took you 11 minutes. I already know I'm going to get reprimanded for this, but you know why I always say I'm living the dream? Because I made a lot of damn money, and I can leave any job I take whenever I choose to. That's what living the dream is, securing your future so you can dictate. Say something, Big Kenny, because I'm going to get a reprimand that you didn't say anything until 12 minutes into the show.
Good morning, Sports Joc. Did you mention we were from Atlanta?
We are from Atlanta. Chinway, say something before we go to break because then they'll be like, you didn't introduce Chinway.
Good morning, Atlanta.
888-926-7562. Or you can hit us up on 404-603-8770. We are live from Atlanta, Georgia. So if you're in another Atlanta, you missing the show. We'll be back.
The Sports Joc Morning Show is now Atlanta's AM 1100, weekdays 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Also watch us live on YouTube and thesportsjoc.com.
Center Court on sports, news, gossip, blah, 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 blah.
I watch you as you left, but I can never seem to let you go. Cause once upon a time you were my everything. It's clear to see that time hasn't changed a thing. It's buried deep inside me, but I feel there's something you should know.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy, live out of Atlanta, 1100 a.m. Here in Atlanta, it's partly cloudy. Let me give you the weather, because there's no way in the world you would know what the weather is with your iPhone or whatever you're walking around with. But the weather here is partly cloudy, and it's 73 degrees. It looks, from what I'm seeing, that it should rain around 4 o'clock today if you're in the Atlanta area. So we're in Atlanta at the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. Let's find something sports to talk about. The NBA Finals tomorrow, 9 p.m. Oh, excuse me. Let me tell you some things that's going on in Atlanta so then you will realize we're in Atlanta. Today at the Fox Theater, around noon, Donald Trump will be hosting. I'm sorry, Donald Trump, I don't have other than he used to own a golf course. That is our connection to Donald Trump. He might be the leader of the free world, but don't worry about that part. Focus on he used to own Doral, and now they've moved the golf tournament to Mexico because of his comments about the wall. Every hour, I will make sure I let you know something that's happening in Atlanta. Okay? Because we're in Atlanta. That's where we are. Now, the NBA Finals tomorrow night will be in Cleveland. I don't know the weather in Cleveland, but I will Google it for you so you'll know what temperatures you know you're going into. I'm figuring it's June, so even in Cleveland, it'll probably be high 70s. The series is 3-2. Cleveland just pulled up a big upset out in Oakland because of Golden State's home record. LeBron James had 41 points. Kyrie had 41 points. Big Kenny, Steph Curry had 25 points. Chinway, Steph Curry had 25 points. Ever since that game, they've been bashing Chef Curry, saying he had an off night. When is 25 points an off night in a basketball game when usually only one guy on your team scores 25 points in a game? Can somebody answer me that?
I think that 25 points is an off night for two reasons. One, Steph Curry is the master of the long-range jump shot, commonly known as the three-pointer, and he puts up considerably more points than that regularly. And two, people who have never played sports always like to criticize the dudes that's actually in the championships and go, wow, he had an off night, when most NBA players can play an entire career, which lasts a minimum 12, 15 years, and not average 25 points for a career. So for this man to hit 25 points in one night and people say it's an off night means he's super awesome. And two, people don't really know what they're talking about when they criticize sports.
Unrealistic expectations.
Unrealistic
I
expectations.
think it's the same as LeBron putting up the 40 points the other night, and people are just unimpressed. Like, he didn't put up 40 points.
I don't know what LeBron would have to do to get any
No one
credit.
will ever just give him credit.
I don't know
Impossible.
He shank somebody in the paint and not get in trouble for it.
Right.
Just go down, get an elbow, and just pull out a sharpened toothbrush and just shank him in the chest.
Because he's the
And
only
then go
guy
down.
I know in sports that he could actually protect himself. Say somebody did something to him and he swung, they would still blame LeBron for reacting that way. He should have been a bigger person. Or if he doesn't swing, LeBron don't want none of that. It's like a true
Lose.
hard rock, in a bad place. He cannot win. I know the other night saying, that's why I asked you about 25 points. He had a game where he scored 25 points and had like 13 rebounds. They said he had an off night. So I wrote down 25 points. How is that a bad night for a basketball player playing in the finals against top flight competition?
Do you think that part of the problem with LeBron is that...
Hold on. We are live from Atlanta, 1100 a.m. Sports Joc Studios, Atlanta, Georgia, 404-603-8770 or 888-926-7562. Go, Big Kenny.
Do you think, once again, good morning, Atlanta. Do you think that part of LeBron James's problem is that he's been exalted for so long, King James, from fresh out of high school, when he was a sophomore, a junior in high school, people were already handing him the mantle of Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. And he's been so great for so long that everybody just has these unrealistic expectations. Everybody has compartmentalized him into what they think he should be. I don't think I've ever seen, quote unquote, the real LeBron James. He's always either the company guy for his team, or he's the middle of the road, try and take the high road guy for the fans. He's never shown any emotion outside of, I imagine, what the powers that be expect from him.
I can't do nothing I want to do.
No,
because
I can't.
I wanted to leave Cleveland and wanted to go. I'm a free agent. I want to go to Miami. Well, you can't do that. You got to stay in Cleveland. Well, now I go win a couple championships. I want to go back to Cleveland. Well, why would you want?
Why would you do that?
Why would you want to do that?
With this championship run that you put together.
You decided to announce it on TV. You raised $3 million, gave it to the Boys and Girls Club. That's what they paid him to do, that little 30-minute thing, announcement. He gave the money to the Boys and Girls Club. Nobody cared about that. All they heard was, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. They didn't hear nothing about, well, I'm giving this money that ABC is paying me to charity. And so that's why my hat goes off to him. People think that I'm crazy. I just would imagine to be able to be in a situation where there's no way I win you over. I can't say what I want to say. I can't talk to the people. I can't hang. I can't smile. Well, LeBron, why on your days off did you fly to the Bahamas? Shouldn't you have stayed in Cleveland and worked out?
No.
Oh, I can't go on. I can't go on a trip. I can't go down to Miami, back to where I was. Maybe clear my head.
You don't have enough rings, so I think that you need to practice more.
Oh, okay. Prime example. LeBron can't do this. The man is already in 13 seasons, in the top 10 in points and assists. So I don't know why they keep saying he can't shoot a jump shot. Well, no, that's not his number one weapon in his arsenal. But He's a scorer. He can score the ball. He scored more points than your favorite player for most people, and you still criticize him.
But do he have more rings than Michael Jordan? No.
No, than Kobe.
He
Does have
might
more
be
rings than
leading in all them
Kobe?
categories, sports jock, but is he Michael Jordan?
No,
That's what I want to know.
His name is LeBron James. Not Michael
See,
Jordan.
that's my point. That's my point right there. That's my point. If he ain't Michael Jordan, then what really are we saying about it?
We're just saying that he's done a great job for what they said. He did come, as they said, and he did deliver a rendition that you should be proud of.
But everybody's always saying, but he ain't Michael Jordan, no.
Right? Did he ever say he was Michael Jordan?
No.
I don't think he ever wanted that much pressure on him. I think when he was a young man, that was great for the ego. That was a strong endorsement for his talents, that he's going to be the next Jordan. And he probably carried that with a great deal of pride, may have even bragged about it from time to time. But once you carry that weight long enough, I'm sure there are some days when he's just like, can I just be LeBron today?
And I wear number 23 because that was my favorite player.
He was my hero, right?
So, and then you got mad because he said, well, the league should retire the number through the whole league. So why are you changing numbers? So I can't be anything I want. I think that was a good point, Big Kenny. Who is LeBron James? That's what we all are here to try to figure out. Atlanta, Georgia, good morning to you. Sports Joc Studios, 888. Get your liners ready, Big Kenny. Make sure you say Atlanta in there, too.
All right.
926-7562. The Sports Joc, Chinway, Big Kenny, take us to break. Maybe throw a little weather report in there as well.
All right, we're live from Atlanta, but to listen to us on the go, search for AM 1100 on iHeartRadio or download our app at thesportsjoc.com.
Spend it on girls and shoes, but you don't want to be.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy, live from Atlanta. Sports Joc Studios, AM 1100. Hit us up, the Sports Joc, that's JOC.com. We have been mandated to no audio clips today, no video clips today. So, guys, we are in the raft all by ourselves. But, hey,
you
that's
mean we're
how I
actually
like
going to
it.
have to talk on talk radio?
Oh,
my gosh.
And
talk
entertain
What will we
people,
do?
radio.
create theater.
Someone who needs to stop talking, Aisha Curry, went to Twitter again.
More?
I was reading, saying, can refs get fined? This is after Game 5. Once again, Big Kenny Chinway, as I said. Maybe I should say this to her. Can you shut up? Is that a good thing to say? Yeah, it is, in my opinion. Shut up. I just told you that yesterday. Leave people alone. All that crying your husband do for fouls. But I ain't gonna get on that rant. I had my rant for the day, or at least for the moment, because you never know when that anger of the man gets you back to want to shank somebody. But Trey Songz had a pool party. I was reading, $80,000 pool party. I don't know how the people found out that was it. I don't know if they walked around to each segment of the party and took a money list of who and what expenses was paid, but they put it at $80,000.
What were they charging by the drop of water for the pool? $80,000.
They don't know what was comped or nothing. They just automatically put it. He rented a house to host a party in party fashion, especially when you have thirsty women. And 99% of the women that come to pool parties come with a great thirst, looking for who's there. Kevin Durant was in attendance. I know that it said a lot of the Redskins players were there as well. I'm quite sure Chinway knows all the other Hollywood stars that might have been in attendance there. Do you see any?
I saw there was a fight.
Oh, so you're looking for stuff that I ain't. Did I ask for you to look for a fight? I said look for some.
Well, this is Atlanta, so we interested in the fight.
I said pool party. That goes along with pool party.
A fight.
It's in the description of pool party. Women fighting.
Well, I tried to see, but everything keeps saying fight at Trey Songz pool party.
I saw it was 2 ladies. Actually, it was 3. Because one of the girls' girlfriend always has to jump in the fight. So she can feel like, hey, I was there for you, girl. You my ride and die chick. But it was 2 ladies in bathing suits, probably fighting over who's gonna go home with Drake.
Either that or that cost $7,000 just because it might be a PR stunt.
Oh, is that how it
might be
is?
a PR stunt. Look, I'm gonna need some girls in scantily clad bikinis to at some point start tugging at each other, and it's going to make all of the blogs and the gossip.
I know a little bit about throwing pool parties. I never went to the $80,000 mark. I don't know what that actually comes with. Hot dogs and buns, or well, I shouldn't say buns, but
because they way more expensive. if you want buns with that, it's gonna cost you.
They
sir.
must have had some expensive label alcohol, but I can't even see him paying for that. He's Trey Songz. I know he's not a huge necessarily. I wouldn't say his career is A level yet, but I would say it's B level as far as careers go.
It's getting a liquor distributor sponsorship.
Right. That's
level.
yeah. It's high enough.
I'm
to get
having a pool
some
party,
rock.
so I know you want to donate and have your name associated with my pool party.
Yeah, I just said Drake and KD is going to be there, so I got two A-lister people in their industry. So I don't see how he would be paying for alcohol. Am I right to say that B level?
Maybe he
He's
paid
not.
the
He's
promoter.
not an A level.
I would give
entertainer.
him a B- at this point. Honestly, we haven't heard too much music from Trey Songz recently, or he isn't very forefront in the media. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
And I think that's being generous with B level.
Honestly.
Oh, am I? I'm giving him too much credit. Okay. I just know that A would be Justin Timberlake, and that kind of act. Bruno Mars,
right?
Or A type,
right?
Trey Songz, people that could run their own headline at somewhere like a Phillips Arena.
Right.
I don't know that Trey Songz' audience is that big. Do you?
No, like you said, a Bruno Mars, when he comes, for instance, Rihanna, Beyonce were recently at Phillips Arena. They didn't bring opening acts. They just come and they're the entire show.
Right.
Trey Songz, I imagine, would be on the bill with a minimum 2 other acts. So there's the emerging artist in front of the opening act, and then Trey Songz.
Right. He would be, somebody would open, and Trey Songz would do a set, and then the man headliner would do a set.
Right,
okay.
right.
That's why I said B level, because he's not an opening act,
right?
Which is C level. He's in the middle,
right?
So, but they had a pool party, fight broke out. Sorry, I can't show you in the video, but go look and see the little cat fight. I saw something. It was only like 12 seconds, so don't get all Ronda Rousey on me. It was real cat fight.
What is it at a pool party that makes you angry enough to fight?
Liquor and water.
Alcohol, and she looks better than me.
Okay, I mean, it's got to be
attention.
Because to me, alcohol and good-looking women, I don't think about fighting. I start thinking about.
Well, that's what I said. The women were fighting.
Okay, the women were fighting, so it's got to be. Oh, she thinks she's better than me, or something. And I'll ask you, Chinwe, because you are the female that is sitting here with us. You think that is legitimate?
Yes.
That it was something. Well.
If there's a lot of Washington Redskins in the building, there's only but so many, and there's always going to be more females at an event like that than men. So, I mean, it's survival.
Hold on, you said that like that's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's in the Bible.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
thou shalt not have more male people at a pool party than
well,
female.
there's always going to be more women, so it's like survival of the cutest.
Right.
Well, I'm just. You saying that brings me to the question, how do you go to a pool party with low self-esteem?
You don't go.
So
you get yourself together.
That's what I'm saying. If you are at a pool party, I imagine the pool party is for the beautiful people who feel comfortable being beautiful.
I agree.
So you go there and you see somebody that you obviously think looks better than you, and then you want to fight them. I personally have never understood being angry at somebody because they made me feel like I'm not as good as them.
It's a woman thing.
It's a woman
thing. And the thirst is real.
I mean, some guys have done it too.
Thirst is real.
I know guys that will want to fight over you think you this, and obviously you think I'm that because you're the one that brought it up.
Projection.
Cobb County resident Matthew Cabbage, Big Kenny Chinwe for dedication. He allegedly, they don't know the exact distance, but he drove from Cobb County to Cleveland to sell phony tickets to Game 4, which was last week. he was able to sell $2,100 worth of fake and phony tickets. He was caught. He's 27 years old. He was arrested outside of the Quicken Loan Stadium, and he has been charged for doing that. We talked about Ali scalping Ali tickets, and now that's a long drive for $2,100.
I was about to look that up and see
Isn't that
the exact distance.
Well,
he drove all the way to Cleveland to try.
Well, he was $2,100 successful, so his effort netted $2,100. I don't know how many fake tickets he could have sold to the finals here in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that the distance was a byproduct of the scam that he was running.
It was 11 hours.
An 11-hour ride for $2,100. I don't know what most people make an hour, but that's roughly a day's work plus a few more.
Mm-hmm.
For, a couple $1,000 to him, I suppose it was worth it.
Well, Matthew,
when you're subtracting gas and bond money.
Matthew is not new to trouble or incarcerating.
What?
He was in jail from 2007 to 2009, and then arrested again, and did another 2 years from 2011 to 2013. So seems like he just likes
missing home.
Yeah. We'll be back. More of the Sports Joc Show right after this.
Live from the AM 1100 Sports Joc Studios, this is the ATL's new morning show, the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy. Call in now and be a part of the show, 888-926-7562 or 404-603-8770.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy, sitting here with Big Kenny, the funny man himself, and the redhead bombshell Chinway in the building. We are live, Atlanta, Georgia. That's where we're out. We're over off the north side, kind of in the cut, right by past the Chevron or Amoco. Just make a left. If you're coming the other way, past the liquor store, make your first right. And we are here. We are always here taking applications for producers to help us with our show, because the man's trying to hold us down.
When you said the first right past the liquor store, all my friends were like, "Oh, I know exactly where that is. I know exactly where that is." Okay, the liquor store. That's all he had to say.
We are Sports Joc Studios, AM 1100, 404-603-8770, 888-926-7562. We talked about the NBA playoffs. We're going to talk about pawning Ali things a little later in the show. We're going to talk about the U.S. Open, which kicks off tomorrow. What else we're going to talk, because they're going to give me a reprimand if I don't say what's coming up in the show. We have the Naked News as well, coming up in the show a little later. And we're going to get a chance to talk a little ballroom dancing, hopefully.
Pasa doble.
Coming up, see if we can learn how to cha-cha. You know how to cha-cha, Big Kenny?
Yeah.
Okay. Chinway?
No.
Oh, okay. What, do you know any classical dance?
No.
No? No ballerina in you? No?
Oh, well, I did ballet when I was younger, but I'm not one of those people that
when you were
claims
younger?
it. Yeah, I don't claim it. Exactly. That's why I don't claim it. I took it like for 2 weeks in high school. I transferred. But I love ballet. Was fun.
It's like when my 11-year-old says, "Daddy, when I was real little." way more little than 11. All right.
Daily fantasy sites, DraftKings and FanDuel are talking merger. Remember last year they got in a little trouble. I want to say the people over at FanDuel, maybe both of them, were going to the other site, the people that actually worked at those sites, and that's where they were doing their betting. So I work at FanDuel. I go to DraftKings and place my bet, and vice versa. People really criticized them for doing that. They changed company policy regarding that for both companies. They're talking about doing a merger. Makes sense. They both are offering the same thing. Might as well cut half of the staff and make more money. We already offering the same kind of product to the public, which is gambling.
Yeah, that's a great philosophy for the people who don't work there. For the people who are working there, like, cut half the staff. Why would you want to do that?
So I'm quite sure as we go along with football season, because that is when most of the betting takes place.
Is it only in
sports.
betting that logic makes sense, where we don't want someone who works for us patronizing another business? Because if you work for a fast food restaurant, doesn't mean you only have to eat that food. You can go somewhere else and eat something too. But in betting, is it that no, we don't want anybody because it looks like collusion or some inside track information?
I think you have inside track based on not necessarily that you know who is betting against what might be more profitable. If I'm over here collecting bets, I might take a gamble and say, well, I received 20 calls today that put their money on the Falcons. Now, maybe I should risk taking the Tampa Bay Bucks because I'll come up big. Like I actually know who is going one way.
Right.
And I can
and most people are betting on the under.
Yes.
So if I bet the over.
So I have more,
right.
kind of like inside trading. I do know in casinos, you can't gamble at the casino that you work at because of a lot of the same thing. People might join together and run a little scam as far as cards and things like that. So this should be interesting with football on the horizon. I forget which one of the sites that I want to say Patriots owner Robert Kraft owns part of, and I think Jerry Jones. Can you check that out for me, Chinwei? I know it was speculation that like two of the NFL owners had some
talk about collusion,
some seed money.
Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft. If that doesn't speak,
two true mobsters.
If that doesn't speak to collusion, I don't know anything else that will.
Real mobsters they are, but I'm quite sure this story will pop up as if a merger happens, and football, college and pro, are 2-3 months away from starting their seasons. NBA Finals, I can't say that enough. Tomorrow, Game 6, Cleveland. They say that Andrew Bogut, the center that hurt his knee in the last game, traveled with the team. They expect an MRI today. I would imagine that if he even capable of playing, Steve Kerr will sit him and tune up just in case there's a Game 7 on Sunday. I think that he would totally get exposed. A big man like that, that's 7 feet tall, around 280 pounds, and you're telling me you're going to be getting results from an MRI today for something I need to do tomorrow?
And I was thinking that he's on the plane with the team and traveling with them, so obviously they're on some, hey, stay limber. Stay warmed up, big man, because you might be going in tonight.
And somebody get food poisoning between now and the game.
What are they going to do, text the results of the MRI? Hey, hold him down. Don't let him go. Oh, okay, don't suit up. That seems like a last-minute decision for real.
And sometimes set your roster based on who's playing, because you can get that information to Cleveland that he's out, and they can automatically think, oh, okay, well, they're going to play more small, addressing this other 7-footer. I need to dress my small forward to combat that. Well, don't give me that information with 2-3 days to prepare.
Right.
And that's Bill. No, not Bill Parcells. What's the coach name? It escapes me right now. The mad scientist. Why are we missing Belichick?
Bill
there we
Belichick.
go.
Both of us got CTE.
Bill Belichick, he was always and still is one of those people who hate that he has to identify who's playing and who's not. He knows that is really a thing for Vegas to set points, and he's always said that he felt like that doesn't need to be known until game time. And I know at one point in his career, he would just fill all 15, 16 spots saying that everybody's hurt.
Now,
Who's hurt on your team? All
Now.
of them.
So,
All of them.
did you find out which two owners they were
yes, you were
alluding to?
correct. It was Jerry Jones and Robert Kraft of the Patriots, and Jerry Jones from the Cowboys. They have stakes in the DraftKings.
The DraftKings. So.
Both of them do.
And it seems that the whole NFL and sports, like ESPN, because they even have those fantasy drafts as television shows. So whether they're making a lot of money betting, I do know they've made it into an hour, 2-hour event almost every day, which makes money for DraftKings and FanDuel, even from that standpoint.
And I'm kind of confused as to how, as NFL team owners, you were even allowed to put seed money into something like the draft. Okay. Okay.
La Costa Nostra, man. You know
Okay.
how it is.
Right now, right now, Broke News Tony's listening in Vegas. Like, hey, we need to get that Big Kenny off the air there. Somebody make sure that his signal goes blank.
But we will see how this case winds down. If they're talking merger, they're probably close to it, and everybody will profit. Over in London, this is not a sports story, but it does have a little to do with sports because there are fat people in the world of sports.
Fatty, boombaladdy.
The London mayor, Sadid Khan, he wants to ban fat-shaming ads from the city transportation billboards. They have a billboard over that says, "Are you Beachbody ready?" They have a model who probably weighs about 112 pounds in the ad, and he thinks that this is making fat people depressed seeing this signage. And Big Kenny, I'm Chinway, I would just step out and say this. You were already ashamed if you saw an ad. You was already self-conscious if it took a billboard driving by on the bus transportation to make you feel even more shame. You were already shamed. You left the house already wondering, are my rolls showing in this dress?
I'm not going to the beach this summer.
If it took just the train making a stop and you look out the window and see this sign and think, man, I'm so depressed now. Something tells me depression was already on you.
What's your life going like when you're standing on the corner like, I feel really great. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. And all of a sudden, the bus pulls up and you go, until I saw that sign. I'm really miserable. I mean, because I thought I was Beachbody ready at 5'7", 283 pounds.
Right.
Until
this ad
pulled up, and then I realized that is not the look that they're going for.
But it's for weight loss collection.
Exactly.
So
you knew it had to be something with making yourself beach body ready. It's not, are you beach body ready? Well, get life insurance.
I thought it was like a PSA, but
no,
it's for, okay.
It's
for a product.
Only a person that is big that makes themselves little can actually understand.
I don't see how that would make you feel bad. An ad that would make you feel bad is, hey, you, fatty, reading this sign, go work out.
Or a seizure, one of the two could make you feel bad. But we'll be back, more of the Sports Joc Show right after this.
Did you miss some of the show this morning? Watch and listen on demand anytime at thesportsjoc.com.
Enough is enough! I have had it!
Why so serious?
And we hold the world ransom for
Wayne Gandy.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Show me the money.
Broadcasting live from the AM 1100 Sports Joc Studios, Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome to Atlanta.
This is the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
You may fill me up, yeah. Can you fill me up, yeah? You won't break me down. I've come too far, yeah. I've come too far, yeah. So just throw in the towel. It's a new day, I'ma do it. Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way. You may build me up.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy, sitting here with Chinway and the funny man, Big Kenny, live from the Sports Joc Studios, Atlanta, Georgia, Northside Drive. As I said, get off of 75 and Northside, about 3/4 of a mile up on the left. Bust a quick left, and then you'll see white buildings. Make another quick right into there, and then just start knocking on doors until you figure out where we are. Don't kick it in. Just knock on it. But we are here every day live on the radio to bring you sports, news, entertainment, politics, and whatever else we come up with in our 4 hours of sitting here as a crew. But Atlanta, Georgia, here we are. Good morning to you coming to Atlanta. Birthday bash this Saturday, Phillips Arena. I was up in Phillips this past Saturday. R. Kelly concert. Robert Kelly put on a great show for the audience, really put out a lot of energy. Chi-Town's finest, Chicago's finest. And if I remember correctly, before R. Kelly dropped out of high school, he was teammates with Nick Anderson. Remember the the small forward for the Orlando Magic who played at Illinois, had about 12, 13 years in the NBA. At the tail end there in the finals, he missed some crucial free throws and kind of lost his career after that. He works for the Magic now. I think Nick was also, Chinway, check this out. I like to check my facts and make sure I ain't got CTE. I want to say Nick Anderson, Chinway, get off that porn site over there. Check and see the first draft pick.
Bookmark that, though, if you would.
Check to see the first pick of the Orlando Magic, that was Nick Anderson. I want to say that's who, when they first became an organization, he got drafted by them. Orlando Magic. Work your magic over there while I'll talk a little longer. As I said, Game 6 tomorrow, also the U.S. Open tomorrow. We're going to talk about that a little later in the show. A little ballroom dancing, NFL, and much more left here. And I would be wrong not to say the Naked News is coming up in this hour. So get ready, sit back, relax, and listen to us take you on a ride around Atlanta. We're going to go up 85, cross over 285, and come down 75. It might take us like 8 hours based on traffic to do that.
That's to get off Northside Drive.
But it is going to happen sooner or later. We were talking about FanDuel a little early in the show in the NBA Finals. So if you didn't hear the first hour, you can go to the Sports Joc show page, sportsjoc.com, and we upload and play today's show over and over and over. Chinway, I have talked long enough for you to find your information now.
I found it.
What did you find?
You are correct. 1989, he was the 11th overall pick, Nick Anderson. But he won the first round, and he was the first official pick for the Orlando Magic.
There we go, Big Kenny. I'm still here with you, bro. I still got a few memories locked up here.
Now you need help with directions getting to the house, but you will remember that Nick Anderson trivia.
Amari Stoudemire, who has came right from high school and went into the NBA. His years at Phoenix with the Suns, he was one of the most dominant players in that 4, 5, 6 year period. Due to injury, he's fallen off. He's with the Heat this year. He's bounced around from the Knicks and the Mavs. But that first half of his career was definitely on the path of Hall of Fame type numbers and effect on the court. His brother was arrested, allegedly kidnapped, and beat his ex-girlfriend.
Baby mom.
Ex-girlfriend. Now, how do you kidnap your ex?
And there's
girlfriend.
There's a kidnapping element where he kept her in the basement or something.
Yeah, he was supposed to have locked her in the basement.
How do you kidnap an ex-girlfriend? Hey, what's going on, girl? You remember me?
She was allegedly found naked and unconscious by her daughter.
In the basement?
Yes.
So he locked her up
his home?
Let's see the details.
Because that's gangster.
How old is the daughter, first of all? And then second, how is it that she came across her mother in the basement of the kidnapper's lair.
No,
He
they were
kidnapped
in
her.
her house.
So I kidnap you in your house and take you and tie you up in your basement.
He rammed the car into her car, pulled her out of the vehicle, beat her, and then drugged her. Drug.
You the one that just left college. Don't look at us old men. We would have said,
I'm gonna go with drug.
we dragged them back in my day.
we dragged them.
He drugged her, He took her into the basement and he locked her there for several hours, and she was found naked and unconscious by their daughter. It's both of their daughters.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Then it rubs it off again.
Puts its lotion. I love when he gets mad right there.
Put it in the basket.
So he kidnapped, rammed her car, pulled her out of her car, dragged her into the basement, tied her up, beat her some more, and left her.
And it doesn't say how old the baby was, so I'm not sure.
And somehow in the midst of all that, he stripped her naked as well.
I thought she was your ex because you didn't want to be around her. No? That's not how it works?
It's always how it worked for me. Look, this isn't working out. And
Are you going to go to prison for your ex? I mean,
yeah,
shouldn't it be your current?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That's kind of...
Great point.
Well,
I'm imagining that when they do a toxicology test, it's going to be some of that in him.
I think sometimes, though, in her defense, that you really don't know who a person is until you break up with them.
Mm-hmm.
While you're dating them, everything's pretty cool, but once you break up, the real that person comes out.
The daughter of Satan.
Right. So whatever
Or the son of
emotional
Satan.
issues she has, whatever insecurities she's been hiding the entire time the two of you have been together, they've been managed because whatever she finds in that relationship with you helps her to manage those feelings. Now that safety net and that safe place has been removed, and some people freak out. I don't know what led to his doing all of this, but
it's a lot, though.
Yeah, I'm saying if I'm Amari
insecure.
Stoudemire's brother, I'd be thinking I can get some more chicks. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Trey Songz is having an $80,000 pool party.
How do you call and get bail for that from Amari? Hey, bro.
What's up, cuz?
You think you can bail me out? What they got you on, partner?
I told you stop
Now,
smoking
don't
and driving.
believe what
Told
the
you stop
blog
smoking
say.
and driving. No, it wasn't smoking and driving. What, you was drunk?
Well,
No, I wasn't.
You remember Candace?
From 3 years ago, Candace?
Yeah, Candace.
Your baby mama, Candace.
Yeah, you know.
How is my niece?
Well, she's doing good, but that's not why I call you. I got to get off the phone.
Is Candace sick?
No, I need you to come down and get me out of the jail.
What happened? What happened, man?
And, you know, she sent me a text and she, regurgitating all some old stuff that I had put behind me, and I just lost it.
What, you lost the text message? You erased it?
No, I just lost. She just angered me. You know how they like to push you towards the sun.
Oh, so you cursed her out?
Well, it got a little more physical than that.
30 seconds.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
30 seconds. Wrap
Phone-
it up.
phone check,
Wrap
phone-
it up. Wrap it up.
Wait a minute. It got physical? She jumped on you?
No, I hit her with the car.
Like, that's where you get the dial.
Hello?
Write it. I hit her with the car. No, I don't even. We got static in the phone.
I don't even want it on record that I talked to you.
I can't hear you anymore. There's something wrong with this call, sir.
Deion Sanders, no bigger star in football when he was in the league. No bigger star in Atlanta when he was here with the Falcons and the Braves. Remember, he was like Bo Jackson. They both were dual sport superstars. His son allegedly brutally attacked a lady on a high school employee, claims that Deion's son attacked him on school grounds, beating him so bad, surgery. Alleged victim is John Darjean, who claims that Sanders was breaking school rules by using his cell phone on campus, and when he tried to confiscate it, Deion's son attacked him. Big Kenny, you buying this?
Is there security footage of this?
Well, you know, they probably was in an area that there was no footage.
What did he do
Because
to make
when you're
these
preparing to attack
final?
a school official.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, I don't understand. First of all, the allegation that He was using his phone, and I told him he couldn't use it. Now, okay, Deion's my dad. No big deal. I don't want to shed any bad light on him. So I'm going to just put the phone away. It's no big deal. I'm not on the phone with DraftKings. I'm not trying to bail out from kidnapping my ex-girlfriend.
And if it's true, then this employee, that was already a school rule.
That was already a school rule.
Right.
So I know this school rule, and I put my phone away. What made this situation escalate from not only I got physical with you, but I got so physical with you that you need spinal surgery? Because that's not me pushing you out of the way or snatching the phone from you, being belligerent. That's a physical attack.
A real hit.
I have attacked you, and I continue to attack you, even when you were helpless.
The insurance company that paid out the workers' comp claim is now suing Deion and his ex-wife, Pilar, claiming they knew their son had a history of reckless conduct and never did anything to curb his behavior. The insurance company claims Deion and Pilar should reimburse them the $26,000 they had to pay out in workers' compensation. I'm quite sure we will hear more about this story. And as anybody would have been, as Amari hung up on his brother, Deion just didn't answer the phone when it was asked for comments. So we're going to go to break. When we come back, more of the Sports Joc Show live from Atlanta, AM 1100 Studios.
Live from Atlanta, AM 1100 Sports Joc Studios. This is ATL's new morning show, the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy. Call in now to be a part of the show, 888-926-7562 or 404-603-8770.
In the red zone.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. We'd like to thank Sublime Donuts for giving us these delicious pastries today. They are very good. Heavy T has eaten 3 of them. He probably has one in his pocket and 2 in his back pocket. He's our resident food tester. He loves to grub like old linemen do. It's a passion that we have for the finer taste of glaze and sugar. You'll never find a diet product in an old lineman's house at all.
Whenever we send them out for pizza, all the large pizzas come back medium.
We are live, Atlanta, Georgia. Maybe you can help me who this is. Schoolboy Q.
Yes.
Is a rapper. He had a song called The Man of the Year.
You know him.
That he
I've
dropped.
been sitting in the studio trying to get to you, babe.
Oh, okay. I heard that. I thought that was Miguel. They all sound the same to me. It's like 4 people that sound the same.
4 people. There's only 4 musicians in the current R&B and hip-hop world. Got it.
Schoolboy Q is revealing that he's going to use this famous crying Jordan face, which I don't even get the humor in it. It's a phenomenon where Michael Jordan is sitting in a suit crying, but he's going to use it as his album cover, saying the album Blackface LP will be out July the 8th. Have you seen the crying Jordan thing?
Yeah, it's a meme on social media where different people put up the crying Jordan face with the unfortunate circumstance. So, for instance, when LeBron and the Cavs beat Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, they showed one where Steph had Riley on his lap, but they superimposed the crying Jordan face onto Riley's face.
Okay.
So
just...
they do stuff like that. It's not just that face alone. They put it in different situations.
Now, my thing is, did he talk to Michael Jordan? You can't just do this. I mean, Mike, if you don't remember Schoolboy Q, just recently, is like a year ago,
Mike sued the grocery store
about
some steaks.
for running an old ad about discount on a steak.
He don't play that. Mike don't play using his image and likeness or none of that without paying.
Yeah, I can see maybe as some kind of fun thing on an emoji or whatever, face cover, but I don't know if you can publicly put this out
on your
Michael Jordan
on your new album
without a cut.
Could I just speak for the youth? When I say that, I've seen some people say on Twitter, it's not funny, it's no respect for the greatest basketball player of all time. It's a joke, and it is funny. And when you put the crying Jordan face, you may not actually laugh, but you do kind of go and keep scrolling. So it is funny. I personally would like to keep seeing more of it. I don't know, like you said, if Schoolboy Q can actually put it on his album cover and make money off of it. That's not okay. But it's funny.
I must say this, though, Chinwei.
Trollers.
When I see it, I don't go, I
do.
You could have spent that time brushing your teeth longer. Instead of sitting there superimposing faces on things, couldn't you have done something else better with that 8 seconds or however long it takes?
Especially if you're still living in your parents' basement. And I'm a little bit more sensitive because of the fact that I am a comedian, but I think that now the bar for funny has been so drastically lowered that as long as it's popular, people will say it's funny. So when you scroll to the meme, it's got 180 likes and 20 comments saying, "Oh, funny." Most people from your generation will like it and say hilarious just because you want to be part of the group that is in majority. If they all go, "This is horrible," then everybody goes, "Yeah, I don't like it either." So
basically, by looking at your face, you've done this to pictures.
No, I don't know how to use Photoshop and all of those things. Right. And like you said, I don't have time.
Yeah, she from Africa. They just got electricity recently.
No, not South Africa. Don't be confused. Don't be confused.
What is your degree in?
Broadcast journalism.
And they didn't teach you how to do none of this stuff in broadcast?
No.
Okay.
We didn't actually use handheld cameras until my senior year. The department has some catching up to do.
Why is that?
As far as that goes. They'll tell us over and over, you have to be a one-man band, you got to be out to, produce your own content, but they just don't have that hands-on factor yet, and I think they're still trying to push that. And they redid the program, so hopefully it'll get better.
So basically you're saying Georgia State is below par?
No. We have a great education. It's just that the hands-on needs to be introduced at an earlier start in your journey, like your freshman year.
Well, and I think a lot of that has got to do with the fact that they're downsizing in a lot of networks, because there used to be a time when the broadcast journalism major got in front of the camera or behind the microphone, and the audio-visual guys, the sound technicians handled all of the...
But now they're teaching us that you have to be able to do all of those things.
Yes.
Right, so they can only pay you one salary.
Exactly.
Right. It's just like owning a gun. They say you shouldn't own a gun unless you know how to break it down and clean it and put it back together. So you should know something, craft inside and out, before you really find yourself thinking that you are a genius at something.
Yeah.
I agree.
Not just sing the song, learn how to write it, learn how to play it. That's when you really have become an artist. Ex-NBA Nate Robinson, we talked about him yesterday on this show. His agent has gone on record to say the 32-year-old had an impressive tryout with the Seahawks this past Monday. Big Kenny Chinwei, we talked about this. Nate played 10, 11 years in the NBA. I think he played in China last year. Now he wants to go back to his high school roots, and something he did get a scholarship to the University of Washington to do, which is to play cornerback at 5'9", 1-3 dunk contest. Should we believe this agent? Is this just publicity? Do we need to get somebody from Seattle on to see if this is a real thing?
Well, was it an impressive workout for a 32-year-old retired NBA player, or was it an impressive workout? Like if he were at the combine, he would have still been a shining light.
I would imagine it was impressive for maybe someone who hasn't done the things that they might have been asking. But if he's been able to win a dunk contest at 5'9" and play point guard in the NBA, I would imagine that the athletic prowess is already there, correct? That's not surprising.
At the very least, he can run and
Because
jump.
I was about to say, you wouldn't be amazed that a basketball player can run, jump, and catch. Our best tight ends, think the new wave in pro football, Tony Gonzalez, Antonio Gates, a lot of these players, Jimmy Graham, are power forwards from high school. That's what they're doing now. They're going to find 6'6", 6'7", 260-pound power forwards from different colleges who have that framework because they know they have the height. They already know how to catch the ball. And since we've changed the rules as far as hitting, they don't have to be afraid of taking big hits. And these guys are coming from Jimmy Graham. People really don't realize that. Power forward at the University of Miami. People forgot. Antonio Gates never played football until he was a basketball player. That's why they know how to run, get open, and catch. I would imagine that Nate Robinson would supersede anyone that even plays in this league athletically. He can equal, other than speed, but quickness and ball hand-eye coordination, all the things that you groom in basketball, he already knows how to do.
Because they never really, in football, you know that the ball is coming to you. They already tell you in advance, hey, I'm going to throw it to you. In basketball, you just got to be ready.
Yes,
at any time this ball, Magic would throw a ball behind his head or the no-look pass, and you got to be ready for that at any point in a fast break. So I'm sure he's got the mechanics.
And a point guard.
Right.
The ball is part of his hand anyway.
So I'm sure the mechanics are there, but it's the 32 years old that concerns me.
Yeah, and
that he was really quick and that he did a really good job, and he got a special workout, private workout session. But how long do you think that special treatment will last?
I don't know if he would really get an invite to training camp. I think that he's from that area, and it just makes for good news. But imagine a quick point guard. Wow. Isn't that amazing? A quick point guard.
Who'd have thunk it?
We'll be back with more of the Sports Joc Show coming up, the Naked News with Chinwei.
To listen to us on the go, search for AM 1100 on iHeartRadio or download our app at thesportsjoc.com.
And now, sports, news, and entertainment. It's time for the Naked News.
Yeah, baby.
It's the Naked News with Chinwei on the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy. We are here in the Sports Joc Studios, Atlanta, Georgia, AM 1100. Hit us up, 888-926-7562, 404-603-8770. If you're here in Atlanta, rain is forecast to come in at around 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's supposed to reach temperatures of 90 again. It's been hot here in Atlanta, so a little cool rain. The only thing I hate about the rain is when it drops for like 5 minutes and just makes it steamy. It's like, why? Why did you?
And that's all that really happens in Atlanta, is it rains just enough to make it a sauna, to make it a steam room, and then
it goes by.
And then it's gone, and you just walk around in a steam room.
But we're in the Naked News with Ms. Chinwei. What do you have for us today?
Well, today is Way Back Wednesday, so in honor of Way Back Wednesday, we send our condolences to Michu Mesaros. I'm sure you guys remember him. He passed away on Monday. He was the guy who played Alf from 1986 to 1990. Mesaros stood right at 2 feet 9 inches, and at one point he was known as the smallest man in the world. He was a part of the Barnum Bailey Circus, as well as the Ringling Brothers. Several days ago, he was rushed to Los Angeles hospital after he was found unconscious in his home by his manager, and then he was pronounced dead on Monday at the age of 76. He had a stroke about 8 years ago, and he's never really fully recovered from that. But I know that a lot of people love the show. It's kind of before my time, but rest in peace to Michu Mesaros. And he also has a street named after him in California, in Hawthorne, California, where he resided. It's the shortest street in the city, and it's named Michu Lane. So that's kind of cute. So rest in peace, Michu.
Isn't that
Thank
kind
you
of
for
some
our
kind of
time.
ism? You gave me the shortest street. I mean, wasn't that? But go ahead with it.
Now, famed internet and teenage troller Azalea Banks, she has been caught red-handed using skin bleaching cream. This is kind of weird because she's always talking about how people are not comfortable in their skin and always trolling people, saying really just bigoted comments. About a year ago, she referenced this company called White Niches on Twitter, and she said, "Thank you for helping me with my struggle knees." I guess she had really dark knees. And then White Niches posted a picture the other day on Instagram with the caption, "The amazingly talented Azalea Banks before her show in Brazil. Skin looks good with the good sign. Hashtag skincare, skin goes, summer White Niches." And Azalea justified and did not deny bleaching her skin by saying that her private parts are still purple. So I guess that's really what matters. As much as she's trolled other people for their lack of blackness, it's an interesting turn of events because she always has a lot to say about everyone else. But interesting to see self-hate.
Now, who is she?
She's a rapper, but she's more famous for her internet beefs with people. She's had an internet beef with Zayn from One Direction, the little girl Sky Johnson. She's 14 years old, and they went back and forth, and she's a grown woman.
With Iggy Azalea.
No, not Iggy. Oh, yeah, she did have a problem with Iggy Azalea also. All right, Azalea Banks, if that's what you're doing now. There are new developments in the tragic Amber Heard-Johnny Depp divorce. Apparently, Amber Heard has retracted her request for spousal support. She initially requested $50,000 a month because she thought that she had to when she filed divorce. But after, all of these, the lawyers are making it seem like, she only wants the money. So she said, you know what, I don't want the money. And you guys are really covering up what's really important, which is a domestic violence issue. So allegedly Johnny Depp threw a cell phone at her eye and threatened to pull her hair back and all of these things a few months ago, and that's when she got a restraining order. So they'll be in court this Friday to determine whether or not the restraining order should be extended or retracted. And is it me, or maybe I've just been paying more attention recently, but I feel like the domestic disputes are like at an all-time high, or is it just me? What do you guys think?
At least in the public eye, it is definitely at an all-time high.
I think it's the one issue that anyone who's involved in a domestic dispute knows will get attention. So the fact that you're dismissive or neglectful doesn't really matter. But if you put your hands on me, everybody's going to take that seriously.
Well, I hope they work that out and something. It's really awful. Another awful case, the little man of comedy Kevin Hart was away in Miami promoting his sneaker line when his home was burglarized. So the burglars got away with $500,000 worth of jewelry, clothes, wristwatches, anything they could get their hands on. I didn't see like any televisions or anything like that in the report, so I'm guessing they're going to try and sell these items to people for more money. And this is the same area, Tarzana, California, where Black China and Chris Brown's homes were also robbed. As of right now, the LAPD do not think it was an inside job, and they are reviewing the surveillance footage. But my question is, how is it that they got past the gates and they got past all of the surveillance camera and they were able, did they jump the gates? They had to have known someone there to get inside of a security gated community.
I'm always amazed when, I remember when Paris Hilton's house was robbed and they had they even made a movie about them. There were a group of the Bling Ring is what they call them. They were robbing celebrities' homes. And I was thinking to myself, these people make tens of millions of dollars a year. Couldn't you just get a camera? Couldn't you get an alarm for the door?
Right.
Because, I mean, you're rich. You've got a lot of stuff. They said Kevin Hart's shoes were stolen too. So I don't know where they will sell any adult male size for
Kids Gap.
right. But it's just odd to me that these thieves don't pick softer targets. And they managed to get into the homes of a celebrity and steal so much.
Escalated to that point, though. They're not amateurs at all. Now, the former Spox anchor Emily Austin has been supposedly let go from her job for racist remarks that she made about Mexicans, Chinese people, and Jewish people. And this is what she had to say.
I did agree with you that I think that it would be a bouncer or somebody that he may have known, but with the whole girl, like, I didn't even know Mexicans were that smart. Is that?
That's Trump Jr. over here.
No.
So there's a young lady by the name of Mighty Ibarra. She posted on Twitter that she had a 4.5 GPA, the valedictorian of her high school. She got a full ride to University of Texas. She's got about 13 cores and medals, nice legs, and she's undocumented. So that's what Emily Olsen had to say about that. She said that she didn't know that Mexicans were that smart. She also went on to say that, well, no, I say that because, usually it's the Chinese guy that's the smartest person in the math class. And then she goes on to say, well, no, Jewish people are stingy because I used to wait for them and this one guy wouldn't give me a tip, but it was because she actually made a rude comment and she got fired from that waitressing job. So, of course, Emily then apologized for her remarks on Twitter by saying she was in an environment that required her to be funny, and for anyone that knows her, she didn't mean any harm and she was just going along with the whole tone of the interview. But
where did this conversation get recorded at?
The Barstool Rundown. It's like they were doing a Facebook, the live broadcasting that they've been doing on Facebook. So it was with Barstool's Sports Rundown show. And so they were talking about various things, but all of the commentary was very rude.
Big Kenny, can I ask you this question?
Yes.
About that as a comedian? Is that something that a comedian can say and nobody would say
I was
anything?
just going to say, if you are out there in the broadcast arena, leave the comedy to the professionals. Because when you are billed as a serious journalist and you make a racist comment, then you are fired because it was a racist comment. But when you are on the show as the funny man himself, you can say whites, Mexicans, and Jewish people stink, white power, and everybody will laugh and they'll go, he's a comedian, he's just joking. So unless you preface it with this is a joke, then you stop trying to be funny and using race to be funny. Do a knock-knock joke.
But the whole premise of the conversation was very bigoted. Like, it wasn't...
Yeah, I mean, but it's usually after you get in trouble, they try and say, well, I was joking. Say that, preface your statement with, okay, this is a joke, but... And maybe you get some leeway, or just stop trying to be funny when you're not a funny person.
Well, that is the Naked News with Chinwei. Can't wait to hear the next report because you're teaching me names of people I've never heard of. 888-926-7562. We'll be back with more of the Sports Joc Show right after this.
The Sports Joc Morning Show is now Atlanta's AM 1100 weekdays, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Also watch us live on YouTube and thesportsjoc.com.
Players Lounge. You have been given full access to the Players Lounge on the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
Dancing, dancing, dancing. She's a dancing machine.
Oh, baby, move it, baby. Automatic, systematic, full of color, self-contained. Tuned and gentle to your vibes.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show, where we're looking for polyester bell bottoms and platform shoes to go along with that kind of music there. We are here, the Sports Joc Show, Sports Joc Studios, Atlanta, Georgia. We talk about a lot of variety of things here on the show. We've had from cowboys and what was it, Cowboy
Black
Deal?
Rodeo, yeah.
The Black Rodeo. We talk all kinds of tattooing. One thing we have never talked about, which has been a big thing, especially for athletes, has been ballroom dancing, a la Dancing with the Stars. I'm going over the list here. I see that Emmitt Smith, the famous Cowboy running back, he was the first athlete to win Dancing with the Stars, season 3. Apollo Anton Ono, the speed skater, season 4 winner. As you go through the list, there have been a lot of athletes around to the final 2 or 3 teams throughout history of Dancing with the Stars. I know my good friend Hines Ward won this event. We had him on talking about he won season 12 of Dancing with the Stars. It's a popular show. It's a show that every year definitely has at least 2 athletes, whether it be major sports as football, basketball, baseball, or minor sports as speed skating and ballerinas. And I think that everyone has been definitely shocked of the success that the athletes, which is crazy because dancing takes an athletic temperament. It takes athleticism for some of the moves as far as flexibility and timing. So I'm always shocked that people are like, how can an athlete do this? His whole job is timing. You got 3 seconds to run up 8 yards and come back. So they're very well coachable if you try to get an athlete, and they work hard. And I'm quite sure all those attributes help with becoming a better dancer, especially ballroom dancing and learning those technical dances. We are blessed here at the show today to have Antonio Daza. Is that how you say it?
That's correct.
Daza. See, I got it right, Big Ken. I've been taking those classes to help me.
We rehearsed it 9 times. I'm glad.
Antonio is from Venezuela. As he says on here, the Caribbean Sea city. It's a small city, Valencia, small town in Venezuela. I'm quite sure it's probably bigger than Haines City, but
you never know.
You never know.
It might be the Venezuelan Haines City.
He moved here to the States in 2003 with his family. Political, economic, and social changes forced that. And he has been nice enough to come on the show and talk about ballroom dancing that I see has been around since the 16th century. I always, kind of like we talked about yesterday with the air guitar, Antonio, I always thought I could waltz in my mind. You know how you just know you would have been, da, 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 and knowing that, man, after the third step, I would have been lost. They'd have been like, get out the line. Good morning to you, Antonio.
Well, good morning, guys. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come to your show and explain a little bit more about what ballroom dancing is and really what are some of the benefits that people can gain out of this sport. Because it definitely, like you say, has all the characteristics to be considered a sport because of all the physical benefits, the mental benefits, and the skills that are required to do something like this. So it's awesome.
And outside of our country, because we have been treating the Dancing with the Stars thing as though the dance just started 10, 12 years ago, this is a very competitive event in other countries.
Oh yes, it is. It is. There are. I mean, basically in the U.S. you can find a competition almost every weekend.
Really?
Yes. In every city there's always something going on about ballroom dancing, but also internationally it's a big deal right now. And in South America, I mean, I actually didn't know it was that big until I came to the United States. In Venezuela. Dancing is a big part of what we do. Since we were kids, we're always thrown on the dance floor and just dancing with our parents and, social dancing, salsa, merengue, bachata, all those kinds of things. So
all they teach here is to twerk.
That's right. So
and that's all right. That's all right for America. We got apple pie and the twerk.
Antonio, let me ask you this: what is if you were teaching the most common aspect that is the hardest to teach someone that you see that, some people get it, but most people it's hard for them to get in ballroom dancing?
Well, I'm going to give you my top 3.
Okay.
I think the hardest thing is the coordination, physical coordination between holding posture and moving your feet and that kind of thing, between the action between your arms and your legs and what you have to do. And another thing is then once you get that and then just trying to connect with your partner, meaning the leader trying to send a message and communicate without actually saying it, just communicate with the partner through movement. At the same time, you are executing your own action.
So you're saying that when these two people are dancing, somebody is throwing a gang sign up to tell, how to...
No, there are no signs at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. So the leader is supposed to tell the partner what movements that person is supposed to do or how to react. So it's basically like having a conversation on the floor. You just don't talk about it. You just learn how to send signals. But for the leader, especially, it's more difficult because you have to do your thing at the same time you're telling the follower what he or she is supposed to do within the next 2 or 3 beats of music.
Okay.
All right. And the third thing is that after you get that down, is to be able to connect with the music. It's just understanding what are the beats of music, what is the speed, all of that. Because you can be a really good dancer, you can follow the patterns, you can learn all the figures, you can communicate with your partner. But if you're dancing off time, then that defeats the point. So I think that's my top 3 things.
Big Kenny?
Antonio, since you are from Venezuela, I will be asking all of my questions in my horrible Spanish accent.
Okay.
No. You said that it's definitely a sport, and in other countries such as Venezuela, it's widely accepted as a spectator sport. It's part of your culture.
Yes.
Are there sponsorship opportunities like there are for American athletes with endorsing products and clothing, things like that?
Unfortunately not, at least not in South America. Because partnership dancing is such a big part of our culture that is not seen so much as a sport as it is here or in Europe. It's what we do.
Right.
Or like in Argentina, for example, Argentine tango is a big part of their culture. So it's not recognized so much as a sport. But here in the U.S., there are some ballroom dance companies, like the people that do the shoes, the dresses, and the tuxes and all the stuff. They do sponsor their dancers, with the products that they make.
Have shows like Dancing with the Stars, kind of how Tiger Woods brought golf to people act like he was the first golfer, and golf had been around 100 years. Has Dancing with the Stars and things like how I Think I Can Dance made your sport more interesting and more people want to do it?
I think so. I believe so. I think the most important benefit of shows like Dancing with the Stars or So You Think You Can Dance is the fact that it have made it more stream, and then now younger generations are more interested in it. Because ballroom dancing, I mean, in all honesty, used to be a sport for the retired community, people that didn't have much to do. They just did ballroom dancing, and they have money to do it. Because in all honesty, it's not a cheap sport to do. So now with Dancing with the Stars and So You Think You Can Dance, and the young people are more interested in do it, and they see that they can dance to the music that they're actually listening to in Spotify and the radio, and so it has made it more interesting for them, and it's hot. I mean, in all honesty, it's just hot. You go to the clubs and you knowing how to dance salsa dance, I mean, you know that you're gonna get the attention of everybody.
Yeah, nothing pulls the ladies like breaking out a salsa dance.
That's right.
Antonio, let me ask you, what are the recurring injuries of ballroom dancing?
We see a lot of knee injuries and a lot of ankle injuries because of the continuing hitting against the floor. Even though most of dance studios now are required to have floating floors, still, that's one of the most common injuries, especially on the professionals, which are the people that do it all the time. Students that come once or twice a week for 45 minutes, they don't get injured as much.
Is it you ever seen a fight break out over who wants to lead? Like two people, hey, I'm the leader, and they know?
Every day.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, every single day. It's hard to, especially with married couples, it's hard to determine the roles, and sometimes for the wives to give up some of the control in the partnership, it's very difficult. So it takes a lot of time to get to that point where they understand that just because they're followers, they're not less important than the leader. But somebody's got to make the decisions, and you can't have it.
If you've ever tried to salsa dance, or in Chicago, stepping is popular. If you ever try and walk up to a woman and dance that way in a club, the first issue you have is, hey, let me lead. I got this. They always want to take the lead.
So as you're saying, ballroom dancing is like marriage.
Exactly. Exactly. It comes with injuries and everything.
Well, thank you, Antonio, for coming on, helping us out, and hopefully we'll get you on again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Can you imagine the Sports Joc doing the waltz?
We will see this coming winter.
We'll be back with more of the Sports Joc Show right after this.
To listen to us on the go, search for AM 1100 on iHeartRadio or download our app at thesportsjoc.com.
Enough is enough! I have had it!
Why so serious?
And we hold the world ransom for
Wayne Gandy. Excuse me while I whip this out. Show me the money.
Broadcasting live from the AM 1100 Sports Joc Studios, Atlanta, Georgia.
Welcome to Atlanta.
This is the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
You may fill me up, yeah. Can you fill me up, yeah? You won't break me down. I've come too far, yeah. I've come too far, yeah. To just throw in the towel. It's a new day, I'ma do it. Yeah, I'm gonna go all the way. You may build me up.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy. We'd like to thank Antonio Daza for coming on. Ballroom dancing, get out, learn a new trick or two, find something to do. There's a lot of things to challenge yourself in an athletic way, and I'm quite sure we all will be stunned if we went and tried ballroom dancing to see how hard it is. Some things I think don't get a lot of respect until you try it, and then you realize that, oh, okay, it's not like doing the prep or the running man or things like that. Doing the dab it's a little harder than that. So thank you for coming on. Danza's Dance, Piedmont and Peachtree, private lessons. His company works out of there, teaching ballroom dancing. That's Danza Dance, Piedmont and Peachtree. Chinway, you should go by there and come back.
I will.
Let us know how
I
your
definitely
first lesson
will.
went. So
If you come back from Daza Dance with a Spanish accent, we know. We know that you'd have put Heavy D down because you'd be like, oh, buddy, over there went to go do the dance lessons. She came back all Spanish and everything.
And as I alluded to, a lot of the Dancing with the Stars contestants, a lot of them have been athletes in various sports and have had a lot of success. I think even the Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown was around in this year's group of people and stayed around more than halfway through the competition, which is a lot to learn in a short period, especially when you're going against people, because it's not like they pick everybody that have no background in dancing. They go get a lot of those boy band group guys that's used to counting and doing different.
And 1 and 2 and pop and look and hands and thrust.
Haven't football players taken ballet classes in the past to help with footwork and things of that nature? Is that true, or is that a rumor?
I've heard that report.
A couple of guys, but they probably were just in there because the girl they met at Whole Foods told them they ran the studio, and you know how men are. We'll go join in.
Yeah, well, you know I'm a professional wide receiver, but I could increase my agility. Wink, wink.
I know, yoga has become a big thing with athletes because it's a consistent stretching of the body and things like that. So
it's strenuous as well.
Yeah, I do the hot yoga. I used to do that a couple of times.
Bikram?
Yeah, Bikram.
Oh, you got to be using it.
No, I was just asking if that's what it was.
See how women are? Don't want to follow.
Asking.
I said hot yoga. She wanted to put the technical term to it.
It's very difficult. Don't sleep on hot yoga.
She's making sure you're doing the correct hot yoga. Like you ain't doing the extra spicy hot yoga.
Kanye West, The Life of Pablo. He's going out on tour this fall. September the 12th will be here in Atlanta. That's Atlanta, Georgia, north of Macon, lower than Nashville, but we up here at the top.
Right in there.
Right in that little area.
If you Google it, that's what it'll tell you. North of Macon and just south of Nashville. And we're here.
Kanye West, tickets go on sale this Saturday. he will be at Phillips Arena. If I remember correctly, Kanye was here 2 years ago in one of those Kanye West. It's about Kanye West type concerts.
The fake Jesus thing?
Well, he just stood for like 2 hours in one place.
You mean every concert he's ever done? It's about Kanye West? His high school graduation was about Kanye West.
But Kanye West will be here. The Life of Pablo. I don't know if that's a play on Pablo, the drug man.
Escobar.
But I don't know what Kanye and Pablo got in common. But okay.
El Mágico, mean with vision.
It's called the St. Pablo Tour, so I'll do some research on who.
Saint Pablo?
St. Pablo.
St. Pablo, okay.
That's who the album was inspired by.
Hardcore Pawn Star says that Muhammad Ali's stuff has been pawned and being sold and traded. Everybody's trying to capitalize on Ali dying. I asked both of you, I asked Big Kenny and the Truth a couple of months ago why people don't cherish certain things that they have. They can only see the money part of it. Even when they're not necessarily in a dire situation, they quickly see, I can capture this. Why nobody really values the opportunity to have something in your life that, why would I want, if I only have one item of some legendary figure, why would I just want to get rid of it and not actually want to hold it for my own personal?
This is a weird country. We have 49 people slain in a mass shooting with the assailant using an AR-15 assault rifle, and in the same week, the sales of AR-15 assault rifles skyrocket because now everybody wants to get one. But the week prior to that, we have the greatest boxer that ever lived pass away. And he can't make any more memorabilia. He can't have any more memories. He doesn't collect any more stuff. And the one thing that you have that is authentically his, you want to go out and sell. I don't understand that. That, to me, it's weird. I know several years ago you bought us all some memorabilia from the Masters. I got a visor. The memorabilia for the Masters tournament can only be purchased at the Masters.
Yes.
Those that know that, respect that. Those that know. And it's one of my prized possessions. People see it and they go, man, that's from the Masters. And I've seen people, the one time I wore it, because I took it home and put it in the place where my memorabilia that I want to keep forever goes. And the one time that I wore it, I could see people looking at me like, that's a Masters visor. And it was special to have that, and it's something that I'll keep.
Either you went or somebody you know
went, which is either way, you had to purchase it at Augusta National.
Yes.
And it just really kind of, I'm amazed. Ali's not signing any more autographs. He's not putting on any more gloves. He doesn't have any more shorts that he's putting on. And these are now priceless items. These are items that can never be replicated. You'll never have a chance to get any more Ali memorabilia. And people are just cashing in on this man, which makes me think you didn't really respect him and love him in the first place. You just wanted something that you thought you could sell later.
Seth Gold is the hardcore pawn guy who stars on that show. And reading the article, Big Kenny Chinway, he's really kind of saying a lot of you are rushing, as I alluded to. He just died. Maybe you won't let the market set itself. A lot of you are just fast selling, and I'm being able to get it for something I know if I live to see 2022 is going to triple in value.
Right. The night he passed away, you in the pawn shop, like, what can I get for this Ali birth certificate? And everybody's like, give you $20. I'll take it. All right. Thanks.
So what about that?
And then you see some article in Forbes, Ali birth certificate goes for $130,000.
Like, what? And they must have had two of them.
It's that instant gratification. I think long-term goals are not really something that is thought of.
Well,
among
as
these
a person
days.
that values conversation, I think there's nothing quite like a conversation piece. And nothing says conversation piece like, hey, this is Ali's birth certificate. And everybody, what? Ali's birth? Let me look at that. And oh, he was born in Louisville. That's the hospital. And that's his mother's maiden name. All of those things, no matter what you have, a pair of gloves, there's a story behind it. I got this one glove from a boxing gym when I used to box 20 years ago. Muhammad Ali walked in for 10 minutes and he signed my glove. It's something that is a part of history, considering who this man is. It's not like a Kanye West Life of Pablo ticket stub. It's Muhammad Ali.
And people keep and collect a lot of that stuff, even people that might not have made a lot of money. They know and they look at it as an emergency fund. That's why I'm kind of surprised it's so quick. Some people, just like art, just like property, there's certain things, a bottle of wine, that person knows that, hey, hard times come on. I at least know, even on the bad market, I can fetch $500,000 for this Picasso. So, hey, you sit there, almost like having money in the bank. You just sit right there, and if I ever fall on hard times, yes, I'll get rid of it. So I'm not saying that there's not a point in your life you might need to, but Ali might get up out the grave. That's how. Right. He ain't been in the grave long enough to he still might step up out of it and tell you he's the greatest.
And from personal experience, when it comes to collecting things, I'm a very deliberate individual, and I don't regret much that I've done in my life. But the one thing that I will openly admit that I regret is in high school selling my comic book collection for $25. I had originals from the very first, like Avengers, the very first X-Men. I had #1 all the way up, and they were in pristine condition, and I sold them for $25. A couple years ago, I walked into a comic book store. X-Men #1 was like worth $500.
Right.
And I was thinking I had 2 copies of everything.
Right.
And now I've learned my lesson. So if you've got something valuable like that, hold on to it.
Yeah, especially like, as you said, they're not making more, and if it's authentic, and you really know you can prove that these are actually Ali's Thriller in Manila shorts. Hold on, just keep holding.
But if we jump out the grave, I'm selling my stuff too.
We'll be back. More of the Sports Joc Show. Talk a little U.S. Open coming out of the break. 888-926-7562. Sports Joc Studios here live in Atlanta.
Did you miss some of the show this morning? Watch and listen on demand anytime at thesportsjoc.com.
Now, it's time for the scoreboard, where we put a spin on life and sports and how they intermingle. On the Sports Joc Show with Wayne Gandy.
For all my gorgeous, healthy sisters all around the world. Amen. I'm talking the 175 and up club. We cook good, we eat good, we look good.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc Wayne Gandy. We once again like to thank Rashard Wilson for calling in, lead golf professional down at the Reynolds Lake Oconee Creek Club, Greensboro, Georgia. This is the Sports Joc Show. We are live, Atlanta, Georgia, Sports Joc Studios, right off the north side. I keep trying to give y'all the directions between the gas station and the liquor store across from Swingers. So we're going to leave here and do some ballroom dancing over at Swingers.
No, that's Swinging Richards.
I know what it is.
You trying to get people caught up. Where the ballroom dancing? Right over here. Come get your cha-cha on, honey.
You got to dress it up, false advertising like a hamburger commercial. It's like a hamburger commercial.
A quarter pound of fresh lean beef, pre-cooked weight.
You asked him about what got him. Bagger Vance movie got me motivated to put. No, messing with you.
I was going to say you need to leave movies alone.
Terrible movie. The NHL has decided they're going to move into Las Vegas, pending a $500 million buy-in fee by Las Vegas. They're going to put a pro National Hockey League team in Las Vegas First team they have added since Minnesota and Columbus teams back in 2000. They estimate that there's roughly about 95,000 true hockey fans. I don't know how they broke down a whole city in trying to figure out. Maybe they did a mass poll, but they say 95,000 fans live in that area for hockey.
Because if you're in the desert, the one thing you want to see is ice sports.
Yeah, you go over to see one of the Circus O'Lame movie shows.
Circus Olay.
Over there.
Tumblers on Mats by Circus Olay.
But they have decided that they are going. I think this will definitely help the Raiders maybe decide to go into that market as well. Having pro teams there have been discussed in all leagues. A lot of them stay away from it, Big Kenny, Chinway, because for some reason, and I see their logic 50 years ago, 30 years ago. But now in 2016 with technology, and we reported earlier to you with places like DraftKings and FanDuels and casinos just an hour away from a lot of major cities that you can just drive over to, that idea that Vegas and players would get in more trouble in Vegas relative to cities like Miami or Atlanta or New York that are offering the same. I mean, we live in an age where they have basically hookup.com, where you don't even have to necessarily leave your house to order what you want. And so I'm trying to figure out what aspect of Vegas would be so alluring that you can't really find in most major cities other than in Vegas. It's more legal stuff, but in our society, nobody has a problem with throwing a illegal poker game in their basement. So I kind of get you.
I was going to say, in Vegas, everything is legal.
Right,
you can get anything for a price. And even without the invention of DraftKings and all of the social media and computer-driven platforms for gambling, you can still go to any neighborhood and, like you say, find an illegal card game, an illegal crap game. Somebody's taking numbers, and it's a continuing enterprise everywhere.
I mean, we have lottery at every store. I mean, the lottery, I think, what's today's number? Like 150, 160. You can go up. You can pick 6. You can play Keno. I mean, you do this right there next to
in the lobby of my church.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm just playing.
I was gonna say, I think you need to change churches.
I'm just
Big
playing.
Kenny.
It's up close to the pulpit.
Not the offering plate.
And
No.
what's so funny is it wouldn't be shocking for you to tell me that.
No.
So
They got teller machines.
The great Eric Dickerson, even though we don't have video, he was saying that he doesn't think that it would be a problem either if that's the only factor that is deterring teams from going there, is you think for some reason these guys are getting in trouble for guns and prostitutes and all that stuff anyway. I mean, you can get that low. That's what I'm saying. We have actually websites where you can order things as you walk into your hotel.
Gunsandprostitutes.com.
I think it's kind of like what we were saying about the fat people thing earlier. If you're looking at a advertisement, and you get depressed, it wasn't the advertisement. And if you're prone to get into all types of things, then you'll do it anywhere, whether it's Vegas, Atlanta, Minnesota, Dakota.
Yeah,
it really doesn't matter.
I don't think the problem is athletes in Las Vegas as much as it is guys that are barely out of their teens, have tens of millions of dollars and a lot of free time. You're going to have some incidents from time to time.
Yeah, you record people on the road at the hotel.
Right.
That's what D'Angelo Russell.
That dude. I would have rather he been gambling.
Johnny Manziel got in enough trouble in Cleveland. Think about it. He was there for 2 years. He put the city through hell
and really,
in 2 years.
You got to try hard in Cleveland to find something.
And that's what I'm saying. Athletes, they jet set now. You give them 2 days off, they have no problem buying net jets or whatever that's called, hours that take them right to Vegas and back, and they're right back for Wednesday practice. NBA and Major League Baseball are very free now, more even so than they used to be with their time limitations. LeBron James and those guys can come in and play in Atlanta on a Wednesday and don't have a game until like Friday in Houston and can stay over, have a advertised party at a club here tonight, get up in the morning, catch a flight to the Bahamas for some tanning on Thursday, and fly from there to Houston to play a game on Friday. That's how mobile, that's how much access concierge services are offering this all the time, by hours, jet set with us, and that kind of thing. So I think that if that's the only factor, I don't see that as a factor. Maybe this NHL team will test the market for other pro teams going forward, as far as not fans, but as far as athletes getting in trouble in that city. But Las Vegas, Nevada, having a hockey team, 90-degree heat, you just go down and get you. I can't wait to figure out the name of the team.
And how hard do you have to try in a place nicknamed Sin City to get in trouble if you're an athlete? What do you have to do? Everything is legal. They've got brothels, they've got gambling, there's free liquor in the casinos. You can do everything in Las Vegas legally.
All right.
What is it that will make you get in trouble?
I don't know. I played in New Orleans where they have the Harris Casino, Nobody ever got in trouble in that kind of manner. Not Pretty Tony, but what did you call him, Tony, the mobster?
Crooked Nose Tony. Hey, yeah.
He wasn't hanging outside the gate waiting on somebody. To guys that gamble on a team, find gambling.
Hey, could you tell Breeze I need to talk to him really quick?
But guys that want a certain thing going to find it. That's why they're there. That guy that has a certain mindset within any city is going to go find that mindset. He will skip over a lot of things to find what it is that he is looking for. So,
like the story you told about going to the strip club where it was like a little shack and the guy was in the back in an inflatable
pool. Gerald Perry.
with champagne or something like that.
It was a little city in the middle of nowhere with just some trailers in St. Louis called Brooklyn. I have to it'd take like an hour to tell what was going on. That was Sin City. We'll be back. More of the Sports Joc Show right after this break. 888-926-7562, live from Atlanta, Sports Joc Studios.
And now, back to the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy.
Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. I'm the Sports Joc, Wayne Gandy. You had to get the clock going over there, Ravishing Ray. Welcome back to the Sports Joc Show. We are here live, Atlanta. Big Kenny, the funny man himself. Chinway over there looking for, just wipe it on your jeans. Wipe it on your jeans. She's trying to get her, what was that, eclair, strawberry field, delicious.
You shouldn't have told him what it was. just that sound bite was enough. Wipe it on your jeans. Oh, okay. Right on.
She's trying to get herself back together. All
right, we're good.
You good now?
Yes.
You sure?
Delicious.
Speaking of getting themselves together, Oscar Pistorius removed his prosthetic legs and hobbled into the courtroom this morning over in South Africa. This was part of his defense's argument that the double amputee athlete convicted of murdering girlfriend Reva Steenkamp back on Valentine's Day 2012 is vulnerable man who deserves leniency when he is sentenced. So basically, they wanted you to see him in his true state and height. So he came down the aisle on his nubs to get sympathy. This defense attorney is all the stops.
Hurry up, Oscar.
The chief prosecutor says, though, that Pistorius should get minimum sentence of 15 years in prison, arguing that he has shown no remorse since the shooting to the family or even to the court. If you remember, Oscar had been sentenced for about 11 months he did in a jail. He's been on house arrest since then. The court went back and said that basically the higher court overruled the lower court, and they are resentencing him. So we will be able to bring that to you. But ingenious, Big Kenny.
Well,
to take the prosthetics off, is that ingenious?
I don't know if it's ingenious or it's infuriating for the people who they are trying to garner favor with, because you're saying that this is a vulnerable man. You mean the guy that won the gold medal at the Paralympic Games?
Right.
Like, which one is it?
I mean, you know, this is a dude who has endorsements for being the top Paralympic athlete in the world. And with the blades on, he's a different individual. But now you see him without his prosthetics, and you think to yourself, this is the condition he was in when he shot through the door.
Correct. Vulnerable. He's vulnerable.
Right.
And short.
And killed Reva Steenkamp. So I
sounds
don't know
like
if that's going to help.
It sounds like you're not letting that sway you at all.
All I'm saying is the circumstances surrounding the shooting are what I find quite dubious, in the fact that I wake up, my girlfriend who was in bed with me is gone. The only other light on is in the bathroom. And the first thing I think is intruder. Okay. And I grab a gun and go shoot through the door. I don't say, baby, are you in there? I don't wonder where she is. I don't check to see if there's any screaming or anything. His story is, I woke up, she was missing. I heard something. I thought it was an intruder. I grabbed my gun.
Let Ford go.
And I shot through the door 4 times. Now, keep in mind, this is a bathroom that the wall only doesn't meet the ceiling.
Right.
So he could have simply just asked. I mean, because, you know, if I knock on the door and you don't respond, then I start shooting. If I knock on the door expecting to hear Chinway on the other side and I hear, who is it? Okay, there weren't any guys in the house when I went to sleep.
Right.
So now I'll shoot. But I just don't buy any of
Chinway, are you buying? I removed the prosthetics. Can't you see my vulnerability? I'm half a man.
It was a very smart move on the attorney's part. I will give them that. Very smart, very, make everybody feel uncomfortable in the courtroom and get everyone's attention. Nice try, but I don't think I'm falling for that either. I wouldn't grab a gun.
But, I mean, you don't shoot a gun with your nubs either. This is, you know what I'm saying? If the man was in possession of a firearm when he killed her.
My thing is, I already know he's on prosthetics. I knew when you brought him here 4 years ago for the crime, he was on prosthetics. You act like you're showing me something, revealing a clue that was held at the end of the movie. We're 2 hours in.
Like the movie Fugitive. You go to wrestling and his arm comes off and you're like, whoa, I didn't know that.
So you're presenting me something as though I was always under the assumption that when he had his prosthetics on and was 6 whatever, I had forgotten about Oscar. I don't think that will work, especially in your home country where, as you know, I'm a megastar. I've gotten all kind of endorsements and all kind of love because of my situation, and I don't think that unless it has something to do with your mental, which you have proven to me that it doesn't, because you have been able to function and do something in a way that impressed the world, being able to even qualify for the Olympics or even win events in your own. You showed me that you mentally overcame your leg issue, and now you want to try to use it as a defense. That has nothing to do with your trigger finger. You didn't bring me any records of mental disturbance before that.
her kicking you when you weren't wearing them. None of that. It's not like she used to attack me when I pulled them off.
Definitely a Hail Mary attempt.
Well, I think that's
so.
all he had left in his trick bag as a defense attorney.
And I mean, there's not a whole lot to put in the trick bag after you put in 2 prosthetics. So, you know.
So that is Oscar Pistorius and his trial. We can't wait to see how they sentence him this time around.
Do you think that the public outcry is why they're retrying him?
Yes, I think that probably even, and we're not over there in their media circus, but I'm quite sure nobody, if he had gotten 5 years or something like that, people would have seen that, okay, it was involuntary manslaughter, but you gave him a sentence like he actually stole a quart of milk from somebody's doorstep. You didn't give him any time for actually murder. You could have, basically what you gave him, you could have just let him go free. If that was it.
It was insulting.
It was insulting, I think, to the justice system. And I think that's why he finds himself back. I don't think he's going to get the 15 years that the prosecutor is asking, but I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't give him 8, 9, 4 years served, so he has to go do 2 or 3 more years incarcerated.
And for all of these house arrest people, it's only really a punishment if you live in a studio apartment to be on house arrest.
So at his uncle's ranch.
At his uncle's palatial mansion.
Is that the word that was in front of it? Palatial?
Palatial, yeah. I don't think that's really a bad deal.
Correct.
Well, I can only be on this ranch.
And I got to stay here for 11 months on the ranch.
I can get used to this.
Sounds like you murdered somebody. 11 months on a ranch is probably something you needed anyway.
Yeah.
Johnny Manziel needs 11 months on a ranch somewhere.
Far away.
Or something. And he needs a different kind of ranch. He doesn't need a palatial mansioned ranch.
With horses.
Yeah, he needs a recovery.
People bringing you fresh farm-to-table vegetables.
And no mirrors for Johnny Manziel. You don't.
Craig Sager will have the honor of working his first NBA Finals game for the NBA. Craig Sager has always been with TNT, but TNT and ABC have decided tomorrow to let the 34-year veteran of Turner Broadcasting sit in with their crew. Craig Sager, about a year ago, was diagnosed with cancer. It has come back. We've had his son on the show before. He will be joining Doris Burke doing the sideline reporting. And even if you see Craig Sager in the interview, you can see that he is a little weaker. He slurs. I'm quite sure that's from all the chemo he has had to endure over the last 18 to 2 years of his life. But he's definitely showing heart, still getting out there and living life until life isn't here to live anymore. So they have joined, and I thought that's a nice thing to blur the line sometimes and stop all that bickering that this person, well, you work here. Well, let's have a little combo for a second.
And, I mean, if DraftKings and FanDuel can do it, you guys definitely
What
can.
color do you think his suit would be?
Color?
A pattern.
The whole rainbow. What do you have in that crayon box? All of that will just be in the jacket. Right. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the shirt and the tie. And, I'm quite sure he has one of them. He put it on the bed as soon as they called him.
He walking around. That's going to be so festive right there. Can't wait for them to see me in the chartreuse.
I'm going to be killing them in Cleveland with this suit. But Craig Sager, who's always had a good heart, at least as we know on television, he has just always been that sideline guy. He's synonymous for my generation as far as NBA reporting goes.
And he deserves a Tough Guy Award. I was watching a story about his fight with cancer, and he went through a 24-hour chemo. It was experimental therapy, where he got chemotherapy for 24 hours straight.
Wow. That's like, what, 2 or 3 weeks worth at
of chemo.
one time.
Right.
Yeah, I'm surprised he even survived that.
It was a chance that he wouldn't, and he did, and then got back on the sidelines. So.
We got to get his son on and get our own inside information about how Craig Sager Jr.'s dad's doing, but it'll be good to see him tomorrow night calling the game. Game 6. King James has the win to keep it going on Sunday. We're going to go to break. 888-926-7562, 404-603-8770. Sports Joc Studios, Atlanta, Georgia. We'll be back with more of the show right after this.